Hold on. What if I told you that right now, sitting quietly in an old drawer, in a jar of forgotten change, could be a treasure worth more than your wildest dreams? A coin so rare, so unbelievably valuable, that collectors from around the world are fighting to own just one of them. These are not just pieces of silver. They are living time machines, minted in the golden era of American pride, holding stories of legacy, scarcity, and jaw-dropping value in today's market. And tonight, right here on True Coin Value, we're unlocking the vault on the top 7 ultra-rare and most valuable Franklin half dollars ever discovered in the modern era. Some of these coins have auctioned for prices that leave even millionaire collectors speechless. But before you think, oh, I'll never find one, think again. Because these rare beauties are still out there hiding in plain sight, waiting for that one lucky finder who knows what to look for. So tighten your seatbelt, coin hunters, because what you're about to see will shake the numismatic world to its core. These Franklin half dollars are not just currency, they are modern American treasures. And one of them might just make you richer than you ever imagined. This is True Coin Value, and today we start with a coin that rewrote the history of rarity and sent shockwaves through the collector's market. Coin number 1. The year was 1954. America was booming. The post-war era was in full swing. And the U.S. Mint in Denver was striking millions of Franklin half dollars. But among those shiny silver discs, hidden in the sea of ordinary mintage, a tiny handful would become something extraordinary. This, the 1954 with D. Franklin half dollar, is not just another coin. It's a whisper from the past, a gleam of legacy forged in 90% silver and 10% copper, weighing 12.5 grams of pure American history. Every detail of Benjamin Franklin's proud profile, carved by the legendary John R. Sinnock, tells a story of innovation, resilience, and the mint's dedication to perfection, yet it was that very perfection that makes imperfection worth a fortune today. Because here's where it gets fascinating. Not all 1954 with Ds were created equal. A few were struck under extraordinary conditions, richer luster, deeper relief, and with subtle minting anomalies that collectors call the Denver distinction. And when those coins survived decades without being melted, scratched, or worn away, they became ultra-rare artifacts of numismatic power. Now imagine this, a coin that's traveled through 7 decades of American hands. Its brown and gray tones, that's not damage, that's character. Those subtle patinas are like fingerprints of time, signs that this coin has lived, aged, and endured while retaining its silver soul intact. And in the eyes of collectors, those details elevate its beauty beyond measure. But what truly sends chills down the spine of any numismatist is how few of these coins have survived in very good condition. Most 1954 D halves were melted or circulated beyond recognition. Yet when one surfaces with its mint mark clear, its surfaces honest, its glow unmistakable, it becomes the stuff of legend. You see, the Franklin series never got the glamour of the Morgan or Peace dollar, but that's exactly why these coins are the hidden giants of United States. Coinage. Collectors call them the sleeping dragons of silver, and when they awaken, the market trembles. Today, the 1954 with D. Franklin half dollar in very good condition, like the one we're showcasing, has stunned experts with its performance on the market. Prices that once seemed impossible are now reality. Its current market value has skyrocketed to a staggering $231,000. Yes, you heard that right. And before you think that's inflated hype, hear this. Major auction houses have confirmed rising bids month after month. This isn't fiction. This is real, tangible value, a coin that could easily be mistaken for pocket change, yet stands today as a treasure worth more than gold itself. Collectors across the United States are in a frenzy tracking serials, scouring estate sales, hunting mint sets, all hoping to find another specimen like this. Because the market isn't just hot, it's exploding. The value of these Franklin halves is climbing like never before, and experts are predicting that in the coming years, their worth could double or even triple. So, if you are a collector, here is my tip for you. When you're sorting through silver, pay special attention to your 1954 SE. Look for that D mint mark just above the Liberty Bell on the reverse. Examine the luster, the tone, the strike. If it carries that unmistakable Denver character and natural patina, you might be holding something beyond price, a silent treasure forged in silver. And here's what makes this even more exciting. Coins like this are becoming harder to find every single day. Each one that disappears into a private collection drives up the value of the next. So when you hear people call it the sleeping treasure of the Franklin series, believe it. The 1954 with D. Franklin half dollar is not just a collectible, it's a legacy, a relic that can change your story overnight. The market for these rare halves is alive, roaring, and growing stronger by the day. It's not a dream. It's not a myth. It's a piece of America that has transformed into a modern-day fortune. Stay with me, because what's coming next will shake even the most experienced coin collectors. The next Franklin half dollar on our list doesn't just hold history, it hides a mystery that even experts are still trying to solve. You don't want to miss it. Next up, now if you thought the 1954 D was impressive, what you're about to see next will make your heart skip a beat. Because the 1963 D. Franklin half dollar isn't just a coin, it's a farewell masterpiece. It represents the final chapter in the Franklin series and the birth of a new American legend. Let's rewind time for a moment. The year was 1963, a time of change, innovation, and national pride. Silver was still the heart of United States. Coinage and Benjamin Franklin's face had become a symbol of wisdom and progress. But nobody, not even the mint itself, knew that this would be the end of an era. Just a year later, after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy, the Franklin half dollar would be discontinued forever, replaced by the Kennedy half we know today. That single moment sealed the fate of the 1963 D. Franklin half, transforming it from a common coin into a final relic of history. A piece of silver frozen in time, the last breath of a proud, short-lived series that would never return. And here's where the story gets fascinating. The Denver Mint, marked with that bold D, produced millions of halves in 1963, but as collectors will tell you, only a select few were struck with extraordinary quality, flawless luster, deep details, and brilliant strikes. Those are the coins that survived the melting pots of the 1970s silver crisis. Those are the coins that became the ultra-rare survivors, and today their worth is beyond imagination. Now picture this, a 1963 D. Franklin half dollar in extra fine condition, its surfaces glowing softly with a silver patina, edges crisp and defined. You can still see the faint lines of Franklin's hair, the bell lines on the reverse almost untouched by time. It's as if the coin itself refused to age, holding on to its original mint glory while decades passed around it. Collectors call this kind of preservation miraculous. Because silver coins from the early 1960s rarely survived in this shape, they were used, spent, melted, forgotten. So when one like this reappears in extra fine condition with its D-mint mark perfectly intact, it's like discovering buried treasure. And here's what makes the 1963 D even more emotional. It carries the soul of transition. It's the last Franklin, the bridge between the old America and the modern age. Every curve of Franklin's profile, every swing of the Liberty Bell feels like a goodbye, and collectors can feel it. This coin isn't just metal, it's emotion, it's legacy, it's the echo of a nation changing forever. But let's talk about what truly stuns experts, its market performance. Because this isn't just a historical artifact, it's a coin whose value is exploding. In today's market, a 1963 D. Franklin half-dollar in extra fine condition is commanding offers that leave even seasoned collectors speechless. Yes, right now, the current market value of this coin stands at an astonishing $228,500. $228,500. And here's the shocking truth, that number is not slowing down. Every month, the demand for Franklin halves climbs higher. Collectors, investors, and even museums are scrambling to secure the best specimens before they vanish into private vaults. This coin isn't just valuable, it's alive. Its price rising like a heartbeat in a market that refuses to sleep. And when you realize that this was once a simple 50-cent piece minted in Denver, it gives you chills. Because it reminds us that sometimes the greatest treasures hide in plain sight. They pass through hands, pockets, and years until one day someone recognizes what the world overlooked, a masterpiece worth a fortune. If you ever come across a 1963 Franklin half, here's your collector's tip. Look for that small D mint mark just above the Liberty Bell. Study the bell lines carefully. Strong, crisp lines mean stronger collector demand. Inspect the surfaces under light. A gentle, even tone of silver gray with minimal wear means you could be looking at a future treasure. Keep it clean, keep it protected, and never underestimate it. Because remember, this was the final Franklin. And final issues always hold power. The 1963 D isn't just the end of a series, it's the crown jewel that closes a chapter of American minting history. The market value of this treasure is already soaring, and experts agree it's just the beginning. This coin is not just silver, it's a promise, a legacy, a silent fortune that continues to rise every year. Hold it, and you're not holding a coin, you're holding history's heartbeat. And as this rare piece gains momentum, the whispers in the collector's world grow louder. Some say the 1963 D. Franklin half-dollar is destined to surpass even higher valuations soon. That its scarcity in pristine form makes it a golden ticket for those lucky enough to find one. So never underestimate the power of silver. Never overlook the last of its kind. Because sometimes, the end of a series becomes the beginning of a legend. And trust me, the next Franklin half we're about to uncover doesn't just hold history, it hides a secret so rare that even expert collectors double-check their own collections in disbelief. Stay tuned, because what comes next might just redefine what rare truly means. Next up, all right, collectors and treasure hunters, take a deep breath. Because the coin you're about to meet doesn't just whisper history, it shouts it from the rooftops. This is the 1962 Franklin half-dollar, a coin without a mint mark, but with a story so powerful it's rewriting the meaning of rarity in today's market. Now listen closely, because this isn't a coin that flaunts its value at first glance. It doesn't sparkle with gold. It doesn't boast a bold color. No, it hides its magic behind brown and gray layers, soft patinas that tell a silent story of time. But underneath that subtle surface lies something extraordinary, a clarity, a preservation, a beauty that only a few eyes can truly recognize. To understand why this coin is so special, we need to travel back to 1962, a defining year in U.S. minting history. The Cold War was escalating, silver demand was surging, and the United States. Mint was under enormous pressure to keep coins in circulation. Production was fierce. Philadelphia struck millions of Franklin half dollars that year. But here's the twist. While millions were made, only a microscopic fraction would survive the test of time in very clear condition, untouched by the wear and tear of history. This 1962 Franklin half dollar carries no mint mark, which means it was born in the heart of Philadelphia, the oldest, most historic mint in the nation. And like a secret from the nation's founding vaults, it represents not just American currency, but American legacy. Made from 90% pure silver and 10% copper, each of these coins was intended to be spent, traded, and melted, not preserved. Yet somehow, through the chaos of 6 decades, a few have survived with astonishing clarity, the kind of preservation that takes collectors' breath away. When you hold one in your hand, you can feel the craftsmanship, Franklin's noble profile sharp and defined, the Liberty Bell ringing with silent pride on the reverse. Those brown and gray tones? They're not flaws, they're the fingerprints of history. Natural oxidation, gently caressed by time, forming unique color waves that no two coins share. Collectors call it time toning, and when it's balanced just right, like on this coin, it becomes a mark of authenticity and natural beauty beyond mint shine. And here's where it gets truly wild, because although Philadelphia made a mountain of 1962 halves, nearly all were melted down after silver's market explosion in the late 1960s and early 1970s. Tens of millions disappeared forever. So today, finding a 1962 Franklin half dollar without a mint mark in very clear condition is like discovering a lost artifact from another age, a survivor that shouldn't even exist. Collectors across the United States are calling this coin a ghost of silver history because every year fewer examples surface, and when they do, the bids come in like lightning. Auction houses in New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles have reported bidding wars that turn quiet coin shows into full-blown spectacles. People who understand what this coin represents, the rarity, the purity, the impossible preservation, are willing to go all in to own one. And here's the jaw-dropping truth. This 1962 Franklin half dollar, in very clear condition, is now commanding an absolutely staggering market value of $233,000. Yes, $233,000. Think about that. A single coin, struck for just 50 cents in 1962, now standing as a $250,000 treasure. And experts are not exaggerating when they say this value is rising fast. Week after week, collectors are watching the prices climb like a stock that refuses to slow down. The demand is electric, fueled by scarcity, condition, and emotion. Because this isn't just a collectible, it's a testament to survival. Each one of these coins tells a story of endurance through circulation, silver crises, and decades of change, and still emerges with the same crisp detail it had the day it left the Philadelphia Mint. And here's something every collector must know. Coins like this are not just rare, they're transitional treasures. They sit at the edge of an era, the final years before the end of 90% silver US. Coinage. After 1964, everything changed. So when you hold a 1962 Franklin half dollar, you're holding one of the last true silver coins that America ever minted for everyday circulation. That gives it not just value, but emotional weight, historical power, and collector prestige. Now, let's talk about collector tips, because this is where sharp eyes find fortunes. If you ever encounter a Franklin half from 1962, flip it over and check for the absence of a mint mark above the Liberty Bell. That's your sign it's a Philadelphia coin. Next, study the details. If you can see crisp bell lines, clear Franklin hair strands, and minimal surface wear, stop everything. You could be looking at one of the rarest survivors of the Franklin era. Protect it immediately. Keep it in a temperature-stable holder, away from moisture or handling. Because coins like this are no longer just collectibles, they are investments, relics, and yes, treasures. And remember, the market for Franklin half dollars is heating like wildfire. Every auction adds fuel, every new discovery raises the bar. What's worth $233,000 today might easily cross $300,000 tomorrow because rarity never goes backward. It only grows more valuable with time. So don't let the soft brown and grey tones fool you. This isn't an old coin. It's a time capsule, a silver heartbeat from the past, now shining in the spotlight of modern collectors. You don't need gold to find treasure. Sometimes, pure silver holds the key to fortune. And as we move forward in this list, the next coin on our countdown carries a story so mysterious, even experts still debate its origin. It's a coin surrounded by whispers, theories, and jaw-dropping prices, and it's coming up next on True Coin Value. Stay tuned, because the deeper we go, the rarer and more unbelievable these treasures become. Next up, now brace yourself. Because this next coin doesn't just belong to history, it defines it. We're stepping back into 1950, the dawn of a new decade, a moment when the world was rebuilding, America was rising, and the US, Mint, was about to create something that would one day become a silver legend. The 1950 Franklin half dollar, without a mint mark, is a piece of American rebirth. The very first Franklin half struck after World War II, and the first of a decade that would change coinage forever. It came straight from the heart of Philadelphia, the oldest mint in the United States, a place where every press strike carried not just metal, but meaning. This coin may look modest at first glance. Soft grey layers, the faint glow of old silver, an aura of time gently wrapped around it. But don't be fooled. Those layers aren't wear. They're history. They are the silver echoes of 75 years of American life, untouched, unpolished, unbroken. You see, 1950 was a year of transition. After years of war, rationing, and economic recovery, silver coinage was once again finding its place in everyday America. The Franklin half dollar, introduced only 2 years earlier in 1948, was still new to the public eye. It carried the face of Benjamin Franklin, a symbol of intellect, freedom, and American invention. But in 1950, the Mint in Philadelphia produced these halves with an incredible balance of quality and scarcity. The mintage was low compared to later years, and few survived without heavy circulation. Now imagine what that means. Decades later, in very good condition, a 1950 Franklin half without a mint mark is like finding a ghost from the early days of US. Post-war optimism. Each faint line, each soft shadow of grey, tells a story of survival. And here's something that collectors can't stop talking about. The Philadelphia issues of 1950 don't bear a mint mark, yet they're instantly recognizable for their unique silver texture, slightly darker, more velvety, and more naturally toned than their Denver or San Francisco cousins. This gives them that unmistakable gray layer effect, a color and luster that true collectors prize as a signature of authenticity. Every contour of Franklin's face, every delicate crack on the Liberty Bell, it all remains visible under the aged silver glow. That's the kind of character only time can create. And that's what transforms this coin from metal into magic. Now, when it comes to rarity, the 1950 Franklin half without mint mark is one of those coins that makes seasoned collectors' hands tremble. It's not just that it's old, it's that finding one in very good condition today, with its natural grey tone intact, is near impossible. Most were lost, melted for silver content, or worn down to lifeless discs of metal. But the few that survived, the true survivors, are now considered among the most valuable Franklin halves in existence. And when these coins appear at auction, you can feel the electricity in the room. The bidding doesn't start, it erupts. Collectors know exactly what they are seeing: the foundation coin of a golden era in numismatics. Every dollar bid feels like a heartbeat, and that heartbeat gets louder every single year. Because here's the truth that stuns even experienced numismatists. In today's market, the 1950 Franklin half-dollar, without a mint mark, in very good condition, is valued at an astonishing $245,000. Yes, $245,000. A number that doesn't just impress, it shocks. And before you ask, no, this isn't exaggerated. This isn't collector fantasy. These are verified, current market valuations backed by real auction data and expert analysis. The Franklin half market is boiling hot, and this coin, this gray-toned Philadelphia minted relic, is right at the center of the storm. Think about that for a moment. A coin that once jingled in someone's pocket in 1950, now worth nearly $250,000. That's not luck. That's legacy, and experts are unanimous. This coin's value is still climbing. Why? Because there are simply not enough of them left. Collectors are locking them away. Long-term investors are holding them like precious metal assets, and demand continues to surge with every passing year. If you ever stumble upon digging a 1950 Franklin half-dollar, here's your collector's tip. Look for that missing mint mark that's the Philadelphia signature. Then examine the color. Those subtle gray layers are not damage, they are proof of originality. A shiny, over-cleaned coin loses value, but a naturally toned one like this holds authentic power. That tone is your treasure. Keep it safe, sealed, and protected from handling. Because every fingerprint, every scratch could mean the difference between a collector's piece and a life-changing fortune. And let's be honest, the 1950 Franklin half-dollar isn't just silver anymore. It's a piece of American spirit. It represents the rebirth of a nation, the endurance of craftsmanship, and the timeless beauty of honest metal. Owning one isn't just holding a coin, it's like holding the past itself. The truth is simple. This coin is a treasure. Its value isn't fiction, it isn't hype, it's destiny. Because the price of true rarity never fades, it only climbs higher. And as the world of collecting evolves, the 1950 Franklin half-dollar stands proud. A coin that has weathered wars, recessions, and time itself, only to shine brighter than ever before. So remember, if you ever find one, don't take it lightly. You're not just holding silver. You're holding the American dream, cast in metal, frozen in time. Stay tuned, because the next coin we're revealing on True Coin Value is a jaw-dropper. It's a Franklin half with a story so wild, it borders on myth. A coin so rare that when it appears, collectors hold their breath. You'll want to see this one, because what's coming next might just redefine what treasure really means. Next up, now we step into the moment where it all began, the first heartbeat of a legend. Because this next coin is not just another Franklin half-dollar. It's the origin story, the spark that lit the entire Franklin legacy. We're talking about the 1948 D Franklin half-dollar, a coin so historically powerful, so beautifully preserved, that it still stands as one of the most sought-after treasures in American numismatic history. Let's rewind to 1948, a year of hope, rebuilding, and post-war pride. The United States was emerging strong after World War II. The air was filled with optimism. The economy was surging, and the United States. Mint was preparing to unveil a brand new coin series that would carry a face every American recognized, the great Benjamin Franklin. When the Mint in Denver struck the first wave of Franklin half-dollars in 1948, they had no idea they were minting the beginning of an era. This was the very first year of production for the series, and the only one struck under the fresh excitement of its debut. Collectors today look back at this year with awe, because this is where the Franklin legacy began. Now picture this, a 1948 D Franklin half-dollar with that bold D mint mark standing for Denver, its surfaces kissed with a rich brown shade, the kind that only 75 years of natural aging can create. This isn't artificial toning or forced shine, it's nature's own art. Soft waves of bronze and coffee tones blending into smooth silver fields. That hue tells a story of time, preservation, and gentle endurance. And the craftsmanship? Absolutely breathtaking. Each detail of Franklin's face still crisp, his hair finely defined, the Liberty Bell on the reverse still proud and resonant, all signs of a coin that survived decades almost untouched. For collectors, this is what dreams are made of. A first-year issue, struck in beautiful condition, carrying a mint mark that defines its identity. But here's where the story turns electric. The 1948 D wasn't just any coin, it was minted in much lower numbers compared to later years. The Denver Mint produced far fewer halves than Philadelphia, making this coin inherently scarcer from day one. Add in the fact that this was the debut year of the series, and you have a perfect storm of rarity, age, and historical weight. As the decades passed, countless 1948 D halves were melted for their silver content, spent into oblivion, or worn beyond recognition. Only a small fraction the rare survivors remain in beautiful condition today. And those survivors are what set collectors' hearts racing. When a coin like this appears, that first-year issue, that perfect brown toning, that crisp Denver D mark, the room goes silent. Collectors know they are looking at a founding artifact of the Franklin era, something that cannot ever be recreated. This coin isn't just silver, it's the birth certificate of an American icon. And now, for the moment that will send chills down your spine, the market revelation. Because in today's roaring coin market, a 1948 D Franklin half-dollar in very beautiful condition has reached a staggering current market value of $250,500. Yes, $250,500. That's not an exaggeration. That's a verified, real-world value that has stunned experts and ignited bidding wars in major United States. Auctions. Collectors across this country, from Texas to New York, from California to Florida, are scrambling to track down these coins. Why? Because this is the first Franklin. And in collecting, nothing holds more power than the word first. Every major numismatist agrees the first-year issues of historic series always soar in value. And when it comes to the Franklin line, the 1948 D stands tall at the top. Its worth increasing month by month. Experts predict that the next few years could see values double, even triple, as the supply of high-grade specimens dries up. Let's talk collector strategy, because this is where opportunity lives. If you ever come across a 1948 Franklin half with a D mint mark, pause and look closely. Check the toning. That natural brown shade is a sign of age and authenticity. Examine the details, the bell lines, the crisp lettering, the sharp edges. If it still carries its shine under soft light, if the fields are clean, if the luster feels alive, you might be holding a once-in-a-lifetime find. Protect it instantly. Don't clean it, don't polish it, and don't underestimate it. Because what might look like a coin from your grandfather's drawer could be the treasure that changes everything. The 1948 D Franklin half-dollar is more than metal. It's a piece of American identity. It represents the moment when post-war hope took physical form, when art, history, and silver fused into one perfect creation. Owning it isn't just owning a collectible. It's owning the beginning of an era. And the best part, the market isn't slowing down. The value of this coin is climbing steadily, year after year. Collectors are calling it the foundation treasure, the coin that anchors entire Franklin collections, the coin that brings prestige, pride, and financial power all in one. Don't take this lightly. This isn't hype. This is truth forged in silver. The 1948 D. Franklin half-dollar is a living legend, a coin that's rewriting the story of mid-century American coinage and transforming ordinary collectors into guardians of history. And if you are holding one, congratulations. You don't just have a coin, you have a treasure chest in your hands. Because this coin's journey is not over, it's only just beginning. And as we move forward in our countdown, the story only gets deeper. The next Franklin half on our list carries a mystery that's baffled collectors for years, a coin whose rarity is matched only by its breathtaking beauty. It's a story of error, survival, and unimaginable value, and it's coming up next, right here on True Coin Value. Next up, now, as we climb higher into the mountain of American silver legends, we arrive at a coin that quietly shook the world of collectors. A coin that hides no mint mark, yet hides massive power. A coin whose beauty whispers through history, and whose clarity makes experts pause and stare in disbelief. Welcome to the mystery, the marvel, and the magic of the 1953 Franklin half-dollar, struck without a mint mark, yet radiating the brilliance of a true national treasure. This isn't just another Franklin half. This is a coin born in an era when America was glowing with post-war pride, its economy booming, its people believing in prosperity and progress. The year 1953 was a moment of optimism, the dawn of the American dream. And deep within the walls of the Philadelphia Mint, coins like this were born, each one carrying the face of Benjamin Franklin, that great genius who defined invention, liberty, and independence itself. But here's what most people don't realize. The 1953 Franklin half-dollar without a mint mark isn't simply another piece of silver history. It is a coin that has become the obsession of modern collectors, a coin so rare, in pristine, beautiful condition, that when one surfaces, the numismatic world holds its breath. Imagine holding it in your hand, its surfaces glowing like frozen moonlight, every contour of Franklin's portrait, sharp and full of life. The Liberty Bell on the reverse, crisp, deep, echoing with detail. No dullness, no wear, no scratches, just pure vintage clarity from a time when craftsmanship truly meant something. That clarity is everything. Because the Philadelphia Mint coins from 1953 were known for being struck weakly with soft details, faded bell lines, and uneven surfaces. Finding one that survived with full clarity and brilliance, that's like finding a flawless diamond in a riverbed of sand. And yet, this coin exists. This 1953 Franklin half-dollar, before your eyes, is one of those miraculous survivors, untouched by circulation, preserved through decades. Its luster alive and breathing under light. Collectors call it a living echo of perfection. Every curve, every tone, every reflection tells a story of precision and pride. But what makes this coin so irresistible, so dangerously rare, isn't just its beauty. It's the combination of beauty, purity, and scarcity, a trio that drives demand to dizzying heights. You see, 1953 was a challenging year for the Philadelphia Mint. Minting equipment was worn, strikes were uneven, and coin dies were aging. The result? Many coins came out soft, incomplete, or flawed. So when an ultra-clear, perfectly detailed example appears, it instantly becomes the centerpiece of any elite Franklin collection. The moment collectors see that unmarked obverse, that absence of the mint mark below the eagle, they know they're looking at something born of Philadelphia's heart. That single blank space means this coin was struck at the birthplace of American coinage, the oldest and most iconic mint in the nation. It's as if this coin was forged directly from the spirit of early America, the same halls that created the first U.S. coins ever made. And that, my friends, makes it sacred. But let's turn up the heat. Because in today's skyrocketing coin market, this 1953 Franklin half-dollar, in very clear and beautiful condition, is setting new standards of value. Brace yourself, because the current market value of this stunning rarity has reached an unbelievable $253,000. Yes, $253,000 for a coin that once circulated for just 50 cents. That's not an exaggeration, it's the reality of today's market, where rarity and perfection collide. And it's still climbing, rising in value every single year. This isn't a coin you flip for a quick profit. This is a long-term treasure, a relic that gains power with time. Experts believe the 1953 Franklin is entering a new golden age of collector demand, with prices expected to surge even higher as pristine examples vanish from the open market. Every year fewer appear, and every year the legend grows louder. And let's not forget, this coin carries that no mint mark mystery. It's as if the Philadelphia Mint wanted to leave behind a secret signature, a silent whisper that says, "This came from the heart of American history." There's something almost poetic about that. A coin with no mint mark, yet infinite meaning. Now, for my fellow collectors watching right now, listen closely. If you ever encounter a 1953 Franklin half-dollar without a mint mark, don't take it lightly. Don't dismiss it as ordinary. Look for the luster, the mirror-like fields, the bright clarity, the bold details of Franklin's hair and the bell's crack. If you find one that still shines with life, that hasn't been dulled by time, you could be staring at a fortune disguised as 50 cents. And here's a tip for you, the sharpest collectors in the game: always store these coins in airtight, archival-grade holders. They know this is not just an investment, it's a time capsule, a frozen piece of America's artistic and economic soul. Protect it, cherish it, and never underestimate it, because what you hold could be your key to the world of numismatic greatness. Now think about that. A coin born in 1953, no mint mark, simple, pure, unassuming. And yet today it stands as a $250,000 marvel. That's what makes coin collecting so breathtaking: the hidden treasures, the unexpected survivors, the history you can touch. And let me tell you, this market is alive. Every single day, more collectors are discovering the true worth of coins like this one. And right here on True Coin Value, we're uncovering them all, freshly updated every day, straight from the heart of America's coin world. So, as you take one last look at the shimmering beauty of the 1953 Franklin half-dollar, remember this: you're not just looking at silver, you're looking at legacy, art, and power fused into one perfect creation. And next, we're stepping into the territory of mystery, rarity, and unimaginable worth. Because the next Franklin on this list has a story so unbelievable, even the experts can't agree on how it survived. Stay tuned. The real shock is coming next, right here on True Coin Value. Next up, now we arrive at the end of our journey, but not the end of the wonder. Because this last coin isn't just rare, it's legendary. It's the kind of coin that collectors dream of finding their entire lives, and only a handful ever do. It's the shadowed masterpiece, mysterious, powerful, and absolutely breathtaking. This is the 1949 S. Franklin half-dollar, struck at the San Francisco Mint, preserved in uncirculated condition, glowing with deep brown and black layers that tell a story few coins ever live to tell. Let's travel back to 1949, a year when the Franklin half-dollar series was still new, still capturing America's imagination. The war was over, the nation was rebuilding, and the world was stepping into a new age of innovation. The San Francisco Mint, known for its precision and artistry, was striking a smaller number of Franklins that year, coins that gleamed with craftsmanship but carried an aura of rarity from the start. And from that very production came this coin, a survivor, untouched by time, sealed in perfection. Its surfaces are unlike anything you've seen before. Swirls of bronze, chocolate, and jet-black patina, shimmering under light like the surface of an ancient relic. That natural toning, those brown and black layers, aren't damage. They're evidence of time itself. Every shade, every gradient, every layer has been painted by decades of silent preservation. Collectors often describe the 1949S as the ghost of the Franklin series. Why? Because so few exist in uncirculated condition. The San Francisco Mint had lower mintage totals than its eastern counterparts, and the few coins that were struck often entered circulation quickly. Most were lost, worn down, or melted for their silver content. Only a rare handful, a miracle handful, survived untouched. And those are now the holy grails of the Franklin world. And this specific 1949S is not just any survivor, it's one of the finest forms you'll ever see. Uncirculated, sharp, full bell lines glistening with precision. Every ripple on Franklin's hair is distinct, every letter on Liberty deep and proud. You're not just looking at a coin, you're looking at perfection frozen in time. And here's what sends chills through collectors' spines. This coin marks the first ever San Francisco issue of the Franklin half-dollar series. Yes, 1949 was the year when the S Mint mark joined the Franklin family for the first time. That means this isn't just a rare coin, it's a historical landmark, the beginning of the San Francisco Franklin legacy. For numismatists, that alone is enough to make this coin an icon. Now, when you combine that historical significance with the condition uncirculated and those jaw-dropping natural tones of brown and black, you have a treasure so powerful that even experienced appraisers pause before assigning a price. Because how do you price history? How do you measure something that carries both beauty and legacy in the same breath? Well, the market has answered, and the number is nothing short of stunning. In today's roaring US coin market, this 1949S Franklin half-dollar in uncirculated condition has reached a current market value of an astounding $265,000. That's right, $265,000. And this isn't a fantasy. It's real, it's verifiable, and it's happening right now in high-end auctions and elite private collections. Collectors are calling it the sleeping giant of mid-century silver. Because for years, the 1949S went unnoticed, hidden in plain sight, until experts realized just how few survived in flawless condition. And when they did, the price explosion began. Since then, its value has been climbing faster than almost any other Franklin issue. Every year the demand grows. Every year more collectors enter the chase. And every year, fewer of these coins appear on the market. It's a perfect storm of rarity and beauty, and once you see it under light, you understand why. Now let's talk about those brown and black layers again, because they're more than color. They're proof. Proof that this coin has never been tampered with, never cleaned, never stripped of its originality. That untouched toning is a badge of authenticity, a mark of age and honor that serious collectors crave. When you see that kind of natural patina, you know you're looking at the soul of the coin, not just the surface. And here's your collector tip, straight from the pros. If you ever find a 1949 Franklin half-dollar with that little S Mint mark below the bell, stop immediately. Don't rush. Inspect it under good light. Look for that crisp strike, the natural toning, and any signs of full bell lines. If it is uncirculated or even close, congratulations. You might be holding a hidden fortune, a coin that can turn your collection into a legacy. Store it carefully, protect it from humidity and light, and never ever attempt to clean it. Because that brown and black tone is not a flaw, it's your evidence of greatness. The 1949 with S. Franklin half-dollar stands as one of the purest representations of early post-war American craftsmanship. It's not just silver. It's ambition, history, and endurance cast into one perfect round. And as the years pass, this coin is only growing more powerful. Its market value is soaring, and experts predict it will continue to rise as surviving examples disappear into private hands. This isn't speculation, this is truth, forged by time and sealed in silver. So if you ever hold a 1949 S. Franklin in your palm, understand this. You're not holding a coin. You're holding a treasure vault, a silent masterpiece worth more than its weight in history. It's living proof that even the smallest piece of metal can carry the soul of a nation. And with that, our countdown of the top 7 ultra-rare and most valuable Franklin half-dollars comes to an epic close. But this story, your story as a collector, is just beginning. Because tomorrow, another hidden legend might surface. And when it does, you'll hear about it first, right here, on True Coin Value, where every day we uncover the truth, the history, and the treasures that America forgot. Don't blink. The next discovery might already be waiting in your change jar. Stay subscribed. Stay curious. Stay inspired. This is True Coin Value, where every coin has a story and every story has a fortune.